most people don't end up in toxic relationships by accident. They miss one signal early on, and then everything after that is predictable. Today, I'm going to share a quick story of how one of my exes told me exactly who he was at the very beginning, but I chose to ignore it. And when I say toxic or unhealthy, or these signals that we can see clearly, and something in our body is like, that's off, and you don't conceptualize it, that little nudge could literally be 1 to 2 seconds, and in that moment you have a decision to make. Should I follow what is happening inside of me, or should I just keep on pushing through and pretend that I just didn't feel that? So that's exactly what I did when I was younger. I used to just pretend like I didn't feel that in my gut, in my body, in my soul. So in order for the relationship, by the way, to be toxic, before I even get into, what it is that happened in my story, I just want to quickly mention that it's not always just one person that's toxic and then the other person is super healthy and, they love themselves and they're just in this. For the most part, there's a taker and there's an overgiver. So the taker is constantly taking, and the overgiver, because they don't really understand what boundaries are, they don't know how to set them, they don't have a voice. So what they do is they shrink to be with this person. And again, every relationship is so different. There's so many, so many variables in relationships. I don't want to generalize. Every relationship is the exact same, because it's not. The reason why, by the way, I want to say these things is for you to really try to understand why people say the things they say, and to really observe and listen to people when you first get to know them, instead of just trying to impress them and trying to make them like you. Instead, why don't you see, wait, do I actually like this person? And so one of the first things, before he actually said the part that I'm going to talk about, he said that his ex actually left him and she had like this fling with this other guy. And that was one of the reasons why, they broke apart. And so one of the things that I want you to just listen to is whenever you're dating somebody and they try to always put the blame on somebody else, and there's no accountability on what did I actually do to cause this in the relationship, or there has to be some sort of my role in this relationship. They're constantly making everybody else around them the bad guy, and they're always the hero, and they're always the right person in their story. There's something there. Go deeper. Now let's get into the story. So he told me, a lot of these different sort of stories where, it was always, oh, poor him. And, oh my God, how dare she do this to you? So it was always making him look great and everybody else look bad. Okay. So that's something that I want you to take a note of. Then let's get to the good part. So he said to me that once she broke it off, or they broke it off, broke off the relationship, he then ended up sleeping with her best friend. I don't know why I'm whispering. Best friend. Okay. So, there you go. He just told me the kind of person that he is. And not to say that I'm an amazing human being and I'm perfect over here, but I would just never do that. Even if my worst days of my life, I just couldn't fathom to do that to somebody, to sleep with my ex's best friend. Like, I just find that. But anyways, when he said that to me, it's almost like I disassociated. Like I didn't even think about it after that. It's like in my head, I was like, that could happen to me, kind of thing. And so that's what I want you to be aware of when you're dating and you find yourself just almost like going numb, or you're just trying to get to the next thought because you don't want to think about it, or whatever it is. I want you to go deeper into that, because there is a part of you that is avoiding this. The thought of they might actually do it to you, because patterns don't just stop with one person without awareness or accountability. And by the way, you might be the person on the date talking about how horrible everybody else is and you're so amazing. And if you have that awareness, that is amazing. That means you're on your way to changing a pattern of yours that is hindering your life. Not just love, but there's other parts of your life that is hindering. A lot of people think these patterns just show up in love, so it doesn't really matter. No, it shows up in all aspects of your life, in your families, relationship with money, relationship with procrastination, with your health, addictions. It comes into play in so many different ways. So I really want you to take a look at it, maybe journal about it and ask yourself, have I avoided, or do I have a pattern of avoiding things that might look like red flags, but I just need to make this relationship work because I want to have a family, I want to have kids, or whatever that story is that, you think that this is the plan. So I have to force the plan because if I don't do it, it's never going to work out. And sometimes it's a little bit more spiritual, but sometimes your plan isn't the best plan for you in that moment in time. So you might be trying to force, and you literally are grabbing the wrong seed. You're grabbing a seed that is going to grow into a weed and not a sunflower. So really just ask yourself, why are you trying so hard to make this work? Love and relationships, it shouldn't be forceful. It should be enjoyable to connect to people and to really find that person. It needs to be easy with that person. It doesn't have to be so difficult. And if it is, it's just not your time, right? Maybe there's some things that you need to work on within yourself before you find that person. And again, I find myself doing this. Sometimes I'm at the gym and I'm like, oh, is that my soulmate? Just being really real. I have these thoughts in my head and I'm like, why does it matter? Like if I find my soulmate, okay, let's just say I find somebody and he's perfect, he's a 10, he's spiritual and all the things that I want. And okay, then what? Like, okay, we have kids, okay, we get a house, and then what? Like, I don't know. It's like, why are we in such a rush to get there? Why can't we just enjoy being single and just look at the trees and look at the clouds and be like, wait, I'm at peace right now. Like, I don't need to message anybody, tell them, hey, I'm over here. I'm watching Netflix or whatever it is. I'm going for a movie. Like, I don't need to tell anybody that. Like, I'm happy in my cocoon right now. So why can't we all just enjoy being in a little cocoon? Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that are struggling with dating. They actually, they've done the whole cocoon, they've hibernated, they've done the work, and now they're out in the real world dating, and then they're like, come on, what's happening? And again, to that as well, I would say, just keep on enjoying your life, keep on, pouring into yourself, and forget about, I need to be here by this point in my life, because that plan might not be the right plan for you. There's probably something you need to do before then. And one of the biggest things that I've learned in my life, and it's a struggle of mine, I'm not gonna lie, it's something that keeps coming up for me, is even with the jobs or different things, being an entrepreneur, I sometimes have this mindset of working hard, we're constantly working hard. But every time that I'm just like, what? I'm just gonna, it's not like I give up, okay? I don't give up. But I put in the work, but then I don't stress about it. I don't say, oh my God, why is it not happening? I just relax and I'm like, what? If somebody wants to work with me, they're going to work with me. If my friend really wants to be my friend and they want to show up for me, they're going to show up for me. If they don't want to show up for me, great. I'm going to attract people that genuinely want to spend time with me. I'm not trying to drag them because, oh my God, okay, that's a whole different story. Anyways, so I really hope that this video has given you a little bit of insight, a little bit of nudge. Dating for men right now is tough. I get it, right? They don't know what the hell to do. They don't know, is this too much? I need to be 6 foot. I need to make money. I need to be emotionally intelligent. Like, what the hell do you want from me? I get it. Men are just confused. But that's why I'm making these videos. Now, if you want help seeing a pattern clearly and you want to actually break it for good, then you can apply for a private session with me. The link is going to be down below. Thank you once again for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one.